Appreciate everybody jumping in early tonight. We've got the CSA campaign continuing as we do. I've got plenty more to get to. I've got a whole list of things that I want to focus on in tonight's playthrough, guys, and I'll go through some of that right here off the rip. First of all, we've got a battle we just wrapped up in Missouri. We managed to extricate the Army of Arkansas from a tough situation, outnumbered 3-1, defending across a river, the Battle of Wilson's Creek battlefield map. Got out of there. We're going to have a little post-battle action to get to, administration work there, maybe some flavor work, and what we're going to do next. Kentucky will be a concern here before too much longer. I'm going to want to take a look at that as well. And we've got such a long list of other things I want to get to that include how to set up naval patrols on the coast, the solution to our garrison problem. I've had an issue with garrison forces having to select 1,500-man infantry brigades when I would rather have smaller garrison forces that we can put into our different fortresses around the map. I've got what I think is a good solution for that. Then, fellas, we've got to talk about, this is something that folks had brought up in the chat on prior streams, and that is about the iron supply in the South. What are the most important locations that it relates to that? Where might we be able to get more easily? That's going to dictate, I think, maybe some planning for military operations in the future. We've got to do that. We've also got to start working on weapons procurement, guys. This is where we're going to start flexing and trying to get as much out of this Confederate war industry moving into 1862 that we possibly can. We've got to look forward into the future at policy and what are we going to do after we try this kind of recruitment race with the Union to keep up with them. They have pushed now, as it shows in our intelligence report, and I'll probably start there with Militia 3, I think it is. Militia Act 3, which under policies means they've already got Militia Act 2 and another round of reinforcements and recruits. So they're ahead of us in manpower right now, and we're probably going to need to have to do something about that quick. Good thing is, on the policy side of things, we're kind of already on our way. You can see right up here, we are just about done with print notes. And once we get that, we'll get an extra cash injection, about $50 million into the Treasury, which right now impacts us in a big way and will bring us back to slightly more modest debt load and open us up for a little more spending as we get into this kind of recruiting season that we're going to work on ahead. I've been kind of going one by one with my policies so far and just doing one at a time to try to increase the speed at which each and every one of them is passed. So I'll probably wait for print notes to get finished like I talk about, and then we run over here to Militia Act 2. But I want to talk more later in the stream about where we go from there. Of course, you guys can mention all about it, all that you want, discuss in the chat as we go tonight. Those are the things that I want to cover in tonight's playthrough. Cigar goes down, and we start dialing in on the map, of course. IDK, all right, I'm going to go with that. So, I love that you guys are asking about the iron right off the bat. Okay. He needs a Husker hat. Okay. All right. I might have to oblige that. I want to save the iron conversation for just a bit. First, we need to take a look right here at just kind of the way our army looks after that last battle, okay? We are not supplied. We have plenty of ammunition, provisions, and forage, though. That's the good news, I would say, after that. We are low on food, it says here. Provisions regulated, the condition of the men deteriorating. Right, so we are only just in the red, by the way. That was a huge key for us after that battle. I was really hoping and praying that we might be able to sneak out of there and still be in the orange. Well, we didn't quite get what we wanted on that front, but we're almost there. So once we begin our retreat, and you can see the Army of Arkansas is going to back up to here, I'm tempted to just keep us up here. And maybe once we get to here, we have to stay and then we withdraw again. And wherever we go is wherever we go. But we don't necessarily just immediately turn tail and run for Arkansas. because I feel like with such a small force up here, we might actually be able to sustain ourselves a little bit better. And I'll probably keep the army on defensive the entire time. That way we are adding to our readiness that much more quickly. We've got another member in, Wombatus Combatus, another new member joining in tonight. Helica, of course, appreciate you being here as always. Yeah, that iron is going to be huge, y'all. Huge, huge. It's as important or more so than our feed economy. Next up, gentlemen, is talk to me. If you guys want to jump in the chat and you want to opine about how this should be handled, all right? I'll take suggestions. We have the Department of the Ohio right here. This intelligence is as of about a week ago, 15,000 men with 20 guns. We are reinforcing the Army of Tennessee, and right now it's in yellow readiness, looking pretty good at about 10,000 men and 22 guns. All right, so we would be outnumbered if we fought now or soon. We are waiting on some reinforcements right now, and also, had I reorganized? Yes, I had reorganized this. We are waiting for one infantry brigade under Ruggles, which will arrive in 11 days. And then we are waiting for one artillery battery under Cutshaw, which will get here in a little over 2 weeks. So what I would love is for us to wage a campaign to victory. What I want is a decisive battle, same as we did in the East with the Department of the Ohio. Somewhere, if we could do it here, right? Fight them here, drive them into the orange and immobilize them, and then just attack after we win the battle, and then just continue driving them. I'm thinking that may be what we want to do. That's one idea. And to just sit here in defensive posture trying to straddle these two railroads best we can. Problem is, I'm not sure we're going to be able to carry that off. We're going to have to, at one point, kind of see what they're doing and then move over this way or this way. But for now, I'm positioning the Army of Tennessee right in between, right there. And then there's the option of being a little bit more aggressive with this army. And that is going ahead to move into southern Kentucky toward Bowling Green and just try to smack head-on aggressively into the Department of the Ohio here in South Kentucky. Fight a major battle, I think maybe to a bitter, bloody result, to try and drive this army back toward Louisville and defeat it just like we did in Virginia for the longer haul and keep it out of action for maybe the rest of this campaign season, or at least until late fall or maybe mid-fall. That's another idea, I guess you could say. Let's see what we got here. Anybody? Yeah, being outnumbered. No, that's not a huge concern for me. I mean, I was outnumbered 3-1 in the last battle that I fought. So you got a point there. You got a point there. We were building this fort. Yes. Okay. 2nd CSA Engineers. That was looking good. So now I want to go ahead and push play and get going with the first move that we were going to make, and that involves the Gulf States Militia being brought to Nolans. You guys go ahead, take the train, go river movement, if you will, and that'll work just fine. Okay, they'll go boom, boom, boom. Cool. I think that's just a march. Fantastic. That works just fine. That'll be just fine. There may be a conversation to be had about railroads in the future here, even during this stream, as we continue forward. That was one of my first actions, was to get that army on the move and try and get ourselves back in good shape here to build another fort. Again, with that government funding print notes coming through, I think that we would be able to afford yet another one there. I've heard people about building forts this way, okay? But I want you to hear me out on another idea that I've gotten. It relates to those issues around iron supply. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say it might be worth it to be aggressive and at least get the army up to Bowling Green. They seem to have stopped right here. Okay. This is as of June 13th. Okay. But they do a good job of still showing movement. right? You hear Hazel snoring in the background. Oh, and did I mention a solution to fortress garrisons? I want you to hear me out on this one, gentlemen. I want you to hear me out on this one, okay? We have a potential for a solution to our issue with fort garrisons being too big for us here. We want Fort Potter, let's say, okay? This is the latest fort that we built. And I think we can get away with this. We do a cavalry unit from the South Carolina cavalry unit of 250 men. Okay, and let's make them look kind of like this, just real basic. And we'll give them white, no, white pants, and they'll look like that. And so we'll have an extra bit of troops. Their guns won't be so great, but we'll have some extra numbers as a garrison at the fort. And would you look at that? Oh, wait. Here we go. Wait. Okay, so there you go. They're going to give it to Kite. He's a political appointment. We'll go ahead and let him have that. He's pretty famous. He'll be at Fort Potter in North Carolina, and that'll be just fine with Deschler in command and a colonel. That'll work just fine for me. And so now I think that'll help us just a little bit. I don't want to call that an exploit. Maybe you would. Maybe you would. So let's go to this fort, Fort Tuttle. Let's go to that. And let's add a cavalry brigade from Virginia. All right, 250. I think that looks good. We'll go dark gray. Okay, and we do not need for these to be Barksdale. No. Well, that's actually not a bad one. He's a political appointee. Colonel William Barksdale, a commander of the fort garrison, Barksdale's cavalry regiment at Fort Tuttle in Virginia. I don't know if I love that. We're going to have to remember that he's there. We'll see. Yeah, right. Yeah, so so let's talk about some of these ideas we've got coming in here. The answer to your question about what we're going to do here, bringing these guys back down over this way, and here is nope. These units are going north, and they're going to raid like crazy. I'm going to keep this boy in pocket here in Missouri to make trouble here in a border state. We want to try to keep the Yankees busy in Missouri for as long as possible. And we want to try to keep them busy in and around Kentucky as long as possible, too. I'm just fine fighting a whole bunch of major battles between Louisville and Nashville, the whole war, if it comes right down to that. Might build some forts later on, something like that. I think that bringing a fleet up the river might not be a bad idea, but I'm not acting in a super offensive way against Cairo, really. I am playing a defensive strategy, really, by just building these forts along the river to give them an obstacle trying to come down and take Memphis, my major city here, and Nashville, my major city in Tennessee here, both extremely important production centers. So I would say I'm much more concerned about having this fleet ready for the time being to be of help down around New Orleans, maybe over in Mobile as well. That's kind of the strategy that I'm going with for them, addressing some of what you guys were asking about. AOM mod, look, folks ask me about that all the time. You know, because we got to mix it up on here, right? I one day down the line, I may use the AOM mod on it. That is going to be something that comes one day down the line. Know what I'm saying? Vanilla, 600 hours into vanilla, and I really do. You know, people recommend AOM, and I'm like, okay, obviously you were not satisfied with the vanilla product. You were thinking to yourself, you know what? I want something more. I want something different. I want something that suits my fancy a little more. And so AOM was made, and so now you do AOM. Yeah, right? Most of the fact. Well, I'm not at the point yet where I'm going, I want more. There's none of that for me as it relates to playing the vanilla game. I'm just not there. I have a blast playing the vanilla product. To me, AOM, I've got a number of different things that make me want to just kind of wait on it. And also, older millennial gamer, I went and I bought games out of boxes at the store, open the box, play the game, and that's what you've got. And so I'm kind of like, that's my mode still, and probably won't change my ways on that too awful soon, but maybe one of these days. Here comes the Baltimore Squadron. What are they about to do? With the Flying Flotilla, they're going to come bombard Fort Norfolk or try to get in action here. There we go. All right, they came right down at us in Kentucky. Okay. And that would be George B. McClellan, gentlemen. Oh, how about that? Against Albert Sidney Johnson, I've got 9,000 men. They'll have about 15,000. Similar number of cavalry, similar number of artillery right here. Yeah, so those forts remain in federal hands as far as I understand it after the war starts. All right, so on this one, I think this is kind of what I wanted. I knew that they were on their way. This is for the defense of Nashville, right? So we got to fight this one. We've got a battle right off the rip here in the campaign. I knew it'd be a border states battle, as you can tell by the title. Of course, don't forget, guys, hit that thumbs up button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Hype the stream, the videos, and the VODs when they come out. Let's jump into the chat tonight, as you guys already are mixing it up. We're having a ton of fun with that, of course. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to find out the next time I drop a stream or vid for you. We're playing this one. In we go. We're playing defense, I'm pretty sure. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you understanding kind of where I'm coming from on all that. I really do. Hey, we got a gifted membership. That would be the Meat Cutter in helping. That would be Sam McDaniel become a new member. Is that a veteran level membership right there? Could it be? Could it be? Now, I do hope that this isn't too wide open of a battlefield. That's kind of my concern. We'll be on the Stones River battlefield here. Our scouts report the enemy is near Nashville Bowling Green. They're going to call it the Battle of Nashville Bowling Green Railroad. We're facing the Department of the Ohio, 15,000 men, 18 guns. Enemy Army green, morale reported to be confident. Yeah, okay. Got it. All right, Franklin Road is the main objective. We need to look at our battlefield here so we can get into detailed deployments. That's okay. He probably thinks that I've got 70,000 men. Yes, good point. Good point. I'm thinking I want to push this out. What I don't love is that we can't cover as many of the crossings as I would like. So where are they coming on from? Where are they coming on from? Are they coming on from up here? Right here. Okay. So what you figure in this game, and by the way, this will be kind of a how-to, I think. A little bit, anyway. Getting a little cotton mouth. So you got to know, again, so the way that the tactical battles work in this game, this is one of the reasons why I have found a way with vanilla. I have found the way to have fun with an AI that is pretty darn predictable and at times pretty dumb. I have found the way. You don't need AOM mod. You don't need it. I have found a way. And so one of the things that I preach about when it comes to this is, look, it's pretty simple, okay? The AI is going to come from here, and they are going to come to the objective. That is what they are programmed to do 100% of the time, especially when they outnumber you. They are coming for that objective. You know that. Okay, now the idea isn't as much for me anyway. Okay, all right. So now this is where play style differences come into play. What kind of gamer are you? Are you the gamer that is in it to win it, and that is all you care about? You use exploits. You will use whatever you got to use. You will outsmart the AI to prove that the AI is dumb so that you can win. Okay, if you're that kind of player, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that can be done. If you can suspend a little bit of disbelief, if you can focus a little bit more on immersing yourself in a representative, authentic Civil War battle playthrough, I mean, it takes a little bit of background knowledge about kind of like the way that they did things. So I'll give you that. I've got a lot of foundational knowledge about kind of like what was going on and the way that they did things and why and all these things. The nitty gritty, as it were, of what went into the military operations of the time. So there is that, and that's why you come here to watch, of course. But what I would say is that if you just keep in mind the idea of crafting a fun, believable, challenging, plausible battle scenario for yourself, and not just exploiting the AI to beat it, I think you will find yourself surprisingly pleased with what even the vanilla game can still offer you. I do hope that that shows up here in this battle that we play here tonight. We will see. Let's go. So they're going to come this way. They're going to come down the road. They're going to go through town. And there are one of three ways they could go. Right down the Murfreesboro Pike, right across these bridges here and here, which is what I kind of expect. So I would say, or they come straight through here. So thankfully, again, we're going to have a river between us and them. They will likely not, unless they move a flanking column around here, I don't believe, take this trail at the Round Forest. But you can see we've got ourselves a pretty decent looking, I mean, having all these woods to rely on is going to be huge. Having the river in their way is going to be huge for us. So let's bring our army out and let's see what we can make happen here. So these cannon, can we put them here looking out? It's probably decent. Those were under Zollicoffer. Okay, let's get Zollicoffer out. All right, so we've got Pickett's troops. Let's put him here for the time being. Little's brigade. We'll have him here. Or I'll tell you what, we'll have Pickett. We'll have him be here. And we'll be probably march up to the reverse slope of this hill and in these woods. Have Smith and the cavalry looking out over here. Boom, boom, with French's guns. Let's see. Let's have them be here and maybe end up, we move them forward. And then we have Zollicoffer's division in line here, ready to move out onto this hill. See, the problem is that we'll have a flank that's a little bit out, hanging out. And I don't love that. the weakness of the line being here. Suppose we could probably go ahead and shift these troops forward a bit here and here. Put Johnson at the Harding farm. Have Smith out on the flank here, kind of hiding in the woods. Hopefully they won't be able to see any of our troops, right? That would be nice. These guns, probably go ahead and put them here. Oh, wow, look at that. Somehow, some way they can see out way out here. Yeah, okay. So I think these guns and Zollicoffer, I think what we'll do is just have him set up. He'll move forward to here, right? And let's have one of his batteries be maybe kind of like bait here in the center a little bit. But then again, when we form him up as a division, they'll take the guns with them. So I think that'll be fine. I think we'll keep it real basic for this battle. It looks like we're going to push ourselves out. Now, what we could do, right? So the other thing we could do is fight on a battlefield that's more, this area here, fewer roads and crossings to worry about right near the objective. Like that may be the smarter thing to do, which is something more like this. This. Like this. And say, we do have 2 points of breastworks, so like throw up some breastworks right up beside this house and have Pickett be there. We'll have skirmishers out front for him. So this is the other option. And as a matter of fact, maybe do something a little more like kind of like this, and then Zollicoffer comes more. So these guns then go like that. Zollicoffer's division comes over more like this. So that way we kind of usher them over toward, make sure that they come over toward the objective. And we've kind of got something for them here. And then we'll put our cavalry maybe just here to guard this crossing against a flanking attack for if we get surrounded. So basically what that means is right here, we're in a decent and better spot, I think, to guard both the victory location and our supply point. I don't like to camp right at the objective. I don't like doing that. But in this case, I feel like that helps us a bit. So I think I might like that set up a little better. I think they'll have a hard time if they want to try to flank and cross here. Zollicoffer can push out, counterattack. Little can have his skirmishers out, having their. Now, what they probably will do is try to flank this way out across these open areas here. I'd say, given the idea that that is likely, we go ahead and position our artillery here and then have more of it. Let's go there. And yeah, Zollicoffer be ready to counterattack this way or this way. I tell you what I would like, I think, with him is I'd like a mobile defensive position for him more so. So we'll go ahead and we'll have him just be here, here. Okay, and we'll be ready to deploy out either this way or this way, depending on which side we get pressured on more. Let's go ahead, get skirmishers out. Dunk. Boom. And we'll be just waiting on the Yanks to show up most likely. I think I like this deployment a little bit better. Camping out on the objective, like I say, never really liked doing that. I like to try to challenge myself to push the army out toward the center of the map. and fight more of a meeting engagement. But the Battle of Puckett Creek may be what we put together right here. So let's see what we get. So if the river is frozen, they don't have to use the crossing points. But if it's summer and spring campaign season, they do. They have to use the roads. Then that's the other reason why I'm interested to try and push the defense out to the major river, because they can flank me by just walking across this stream here. So they could effectively do that. It's just that out here, I just don't know how well I'm going to be able to prevent their crossing. We could do a deal where we have one brigade that's just, I mean, we could make this like a fighting withdrawal all the way back across this field here. I mean, we could do that. You know, have Little ready to go out and guard this area. Have Pickett ready to go out to guard this area. The drawback there being that I wouldn't want them to go really further past these woods, because the enemy could just park artillery on these heights right here and blast away at any troops that I bring out to try to cover the crossings themselves. So my guess is these crossings would not be well contested anyway, and that leads me to believe it's probably better to bring the troops like I had them back and go probably like so. Now hopefully we can get them caught up on the creek, I think. All right, so I think that's what we're going to go with here, guys. I'd love to get a victory on this one, but I am unsure. I am uncertain. We'll have Johnson and Zollicoffer be here. Johnson be at the crossroads right here with his headquarters for now. And we begin the Battle of Puckett Creek, I do believe we will have here. Of course, the old cup of joe in hand as we get this thing underway. Yeah, might have made the wrong decision here. We could still rectify it. It's just tough. It's going to be tough to just stack them up at the river on those two crossings in particular. This one, doable. This one, very doable. These two, less so. What do we have working here? We're on defense, and we've got a minor victory working right now. So that works for me. Now, there's another option we could go with here. Push out to Franklin Road and Gresham Lane, crossroad, and kind of base a line of defense there. And if they want to flank this way, then attack them while they're on the march. Ooh. That might sound pretty good, as a matter of fact. Smith comes to cover the flank crossing right here. I think I might like this idea. Okay, Zollicoffer is going to be the first to go out. We're going to gather him right here. Boom. Okay, Pickett is going to go here. Little is going to go here. And French here for now. Okay, we got all these guys getting their orders. Smith goes to here. Okay, Johnson will relocate himself to the Smith farm, or no, to the W. Smith farm. Okay, we'll have this, and we'll anchor here. Okay, using the woods. Artillery will end up going kind of here, probably here. Make them fight over the Burgess farm, I'm thinking. And make them fight for Gresham Lane to get this crossroad if they want to come at me. The other part was we're going to do what we normally do. We want to stay hidden if we can. So no fire at will for anybody. Okay, turn that off. Turn that off. We're going to do this quiet, quiet. And Smith will double time it over. Let's go. Yeah, so we got plenty weighing in saying that I shouldn't come out of here. So we're gonna see if my gut is wrong or right. If I were able to spot them just moving and crossing here and then just continuing to move, I would be a little surprised if they did that, first of all. But if I get my guys in these woods right here with decent flank support, I feel like there might be a chance that we could spook them. Maybe attack, if they've got a column headed this way, attack the rear of the column. Maybe that's what we end up doing here. They've got a long, the one thing that helps me on this thing is they've got a long way to go. They've got a long way to go. They've got a long way to go. Now, if what they decide to do is come after this crossing right here, fine with me. Then we set ourselves up a nice defensive position right here. You know, got our flank covered here. If they want to cross here and fight through all these woods and everything, fine. It's almost nighttime, so that's the other piece. I'd love to fight a nice sharp action, cause a bunch of casualties for them, you know, and do the same kind of thing like we did in Missouri maybe, and just go ahead and pull on out, get them back down into the orange and force them to stop so that we can recover the rest of the army, take on reinforcements, and then counterattack. You kind of got to try to keep those things in mind even while you're fighting the battle. Like, you want to get the win. You want to get the win. Well, you know, you got to choose your battles and you got to try to win the war, not just every single battle. Winning every single battle certainly helps you win the war, that's for sure. So we're in cover here. Let's do this and this. Let's go ahead and slow it to 2 times right now. Okay, and then the other piece is that, oh, looky here. So they are going for this with 1 brigade? Really? So let's have Pickett come over here and help. Let's just put him here. Okay, and Little will be in a decent position right there. Okay, slowing it down, play side or to regular play. Double time it up there, boys. Cavalry's going to get itself set. We've got 2 brigades on the move to this crossing right here. Ooh. Interesting. I did not think that they would try to cross over here. I really did not. I would say We need to take at least one of our artillery batteries. Let's take French's 12-pound field guns. Let's bring them right here. Let's go. Bingo. Forward. And we're going to see if we can catch them on the bridge itself and open fire on them from there. That would be beautiful. Beautimus. Got these cavalrymen coming forward here. Okay, I've got an entire infantry division with some cavalry support. It's over on this flank. I don't see any dust anywhere else. This is interesting. Interesting start. Let's have Zollicoffer's artillery shift to positions where I thought I might put them. Let's have this flank brigade come to here. Do a little repositioning. French is on the move good. All right. Looks like they've got another division coming up behind. Lovely. Love to get them stacked up right there. Let's have Johnson come forward. Pickett, gonna need you to double time. Are they already? Okay, fine. I don't think he is. Well, it says he is, I guess. Whew, here we go. Yeah, so right. I think there's a good chance we've got a decent defensive position over this way. See, we now have them out on the bridge. Okay, here we go. Battle begins, and we've got the cavalry engaging these guys on the bridge itself. They need to buy time, baby. Buy time. Okay, yep, we got Pickett moving up. We got Pickett moving up right here. Double time. How are we going to do here, boys? I think they're falling back. All right. This crossing they could take right here and pop up on our right flank out of nowhere. But it seems like they're just stacking more troops up right here. It is McClellan after all. All right, we're still doing pretty good here. This is their first battle. Colonel Preston Smith's cavalry. They're contending with these Yankees on the bridge as Pickett's brigade comes up behind. Let's have his skirmishers come and add to the fire here. Go. Yep, charge move out there. Run. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, now, Johnson. I'm going to put him on a defend. Buckner Sr. comes over. Here. Rather, no. Buckner Sr. comes over. Where's Little going? There? Okay. Buckner Sr. comes to here. Holmes here. Stewart's artillery here. Smith's artillery. Here, we're going to stop screwing around. This is, I think, the way the battle's going to go. Okay, they're going to flank this artillery with some infantry over here. They're going to flank this cavalry, rather, with some infantry on this side. Boy, it would be fantastic if we ended up getting these Rebs, or I mean these Yankees, bamboozled over here. And if they can glitch across the river, I am not going to be happy about that. Okay, we got picket skirmishers getting in the action now. Wail away on the troops on the bridge. This is actually looking all right. Let's go ahead. As this evening will wear on, let's get Pickett's brigade set up here. Charge move, go double time there. Let's have these boys be here. Boom. Go, go, go. Double time. Guns arrive. Fantastic. Cavalry falling back. We don't want them to do that, really. Stay on them. Stay on them. Skirmishers, at least, stay on them. We're going to lay down back here. Looks like we did make them retreat. Fantastic. Oh, that's right. Okay, we are now... we have given the AI the ability to do what it wants to do. So, it will do what it wants to do. Except for with Zollicoffer, he has not been given any AI orders just yet. I don't see any flanking columns right now. Boy, the AI may be doing us another favor here. All right, sweet. Let's put some skirmishers out again. That's the little stuff you can still control even when the AI is doing the orders. A lot of the time, you can still, you know, make guys go open fire at somebody. What? Oh, I thought this artillery battery was done for. Okay, let's bring them up to there. Good, good, good. Make me proud. Pickett there will stand his ground, by God. And as a matter of fact, I'm thinking we take Pickett and we put him here. And we take Smith's detached or dismounted cavalry. We mount them up, pull them back to about here. While those guys retreat. They're going to try to find a way around, I guess. Not quite sure where they're going or what they're doing. Maybe there's a way to glitch across. That's what I always worry about. That's what I always worry about. But we're looking all right to start with. Zollicoffer is going to follow this up. A battle developing right here. This may be all they have. These 5 brigades right here. That would be fantastic if that's the case. 3,000 men apiece, it would seem to make sense if they've got roughly 15,000 men, right? We get some artillery lined up over here and just start hammering them for a whole, you know, dusk. Cody M., glad to have you in, brother. Glad to have you in. Please join the lives when you can. And I agree. Cavalry being on the left is a good idea to eye this this crossing here. So let's bring them around. We'll go ahead and have them be in the woods. But we don't want them moving like that. We don't want them moving like that. We need them moving. We need them moving back to here first and then around. Right? So let's do that. Pickett's having a hard time getting on the move here. Dang it. Okay, Little's brigade. Okay, now we got Pickett on the move. Fantastic. They continue moving off this way. Not sure what that's about. Very much not sure. Let's bring these guys. Buckner Senior's troops. Nope. He won't want to do that. Stewart will be able to open up from over here. Fantastic. We got ourselves a nice little battle shaping up here, gentlemen. I kind of like the way it looks right now. I'm really not sure what it is these Federals think they're going to be able to do over here. And I'm gonna be a little peeved if it turns out they can cross and glitch across the river somewhere, as I've said. Let's go assault column formation with them. Let's double quick with these guns. Okay, we've got this battery in place up here, 12-pound field gun that'll be able to hit them as they try to move across. Got these guns opening up, hammering. Good, good, good. Let's go ahead and Pickett sends out his skirmishers again to cover the bridge. Fantastic. Little's brigade is here, ready. Let's get his skirmishers out too. And now we've got the Union. It seems like McClellan here is he even on the field? You've got Dix, Steedman, Morgan. I don't see a McClellan there. It's unit getting disorganized, trying to figure out what it wants to do. Okay, now we're going to swing Holmes to here. All right, Little getting himself into position. Let's get his skirmishers back out again. Johnson doesn't want to let us do it. Let's back him up to there. Coming up on 6:30 p.m. here in the battle. All right, now these guys will go here, right? So now we're going to direct them to go here. Donk. All right, we'll have a decent little battle line that we'll be able to put together. And we'll get some troops out on the bridge itself. More artillery up. Good, good, good. We're able to use ours. They're not exactly able to use theirs. Somebody had asked about counter battery fire, by the way. There is the result of some of my counter battery fire right there. You see this infantry brigade is going to try and send more over there to relieve those guns. But we, once they get there, ain't going to let them have any rest. Boom. Boom. All right. These guns are going to open up there. You may fire at will, gentlemen. Same with these guns. You may fire at will. Yes, sir. Oh, we had them on counter battery fire. Right. Let's go ahead and do that. I love how you can set that. And here comes Holmes. We'll get skirmishers out for him too. Okay, they're going to back up. Looks like they don't have anywhere to glitch across after all. Fantastic. No. Stop. And we are now... Okay, no. You are not allowed. You are not allowed. Absolutely not. Holy moly. I didn't know that, Jerry's. I didn't know that. Send skirmishers back out. Okay, now I'm afraid I'm gonna have to see he's doing this right here. I guess I'm okay with that. And he's going to put Holmes over here. I'm okay with that. Buckner Sr. over here. Okay. I just don't know if I like that right there. I'm not too keen. Zollicoffer. You, sir. Let's go off of defend, and let's have Holmes return. No, that's going to be fine. Buckner Sr. goes here. Looky here. Skirmishers right here going to come across. What are you guys doing? Get to here again, will you? Retreat to there. And run. Okay, these boys will lay down. Oh, looky here. We're going to put the guns right up on them. That's funny. I don't know if I like what he's doing here. Johnson. Albert Sidney Johnson. He's getting some of his men killed. That's for sure. We are still defending, right? Yeah. They're giving us a victory right now. Phil Harney, yep. Very, very good Union general. There are so many Union generals, man. The examples in history of like guys who, if they'd made it, guys who kind of like, if they'd made it, Lyon is one, Phil Harney is one. There are many other examples of if they'd made it, things likely would have gone quite a bit differently. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got some troops that are exhausted here. Okay, Preston Smith, I don't want you there. I want you to do what I told you to do originally, which is to come back to here. So we gotta micro this a little bit, gentlemen. One thing I do like to try to do to challenge myself in this game is to allow for a little bit of AI agency in, you know, choosing the tactics and what to do. But I don't always love to just let them run wild with that. And as you can see, it looks like McClellan here is going to set himself up a little McClellan-esque defensive position around us. He doesn't have as many big guns to bring up as he might like. Right here, we're going to be waylaying. Let's counter battery fire. Yep, we're doing it. Right on him. And it'll be a bit of an artillery duel right here. You can see, boom, ouch. Okay, we've lost 10 men. I don't know why we brought these guns forward like this. Okay, Johnson. Not sure what you were thinking on that. And they're glitching into a position where they can actually fire here, it looks like. So we'll turn and face Pickett. Okay, then they're going to attack with this brigade, I'm almost certain. We'll go ahead and have Pickett kind of go like that. And then we'll have him lay down. Like so. Can we get skirmishers out? Yep. Should saturate this area. Hit them hard, hit them hard. Should, anyway. Got skirmishers out. Fantastic. We got the brigade laying down behind. That works for me. We've got Little's brigade on the way to help on this side as the Yankees do the best they can to just try to cause us casualties, I think, is the idea from the other side. Claiborne. Yeah, right. Well, they were... those guys I'm talking about, Lyon... Harney was an absolute freaking lunatic. That guy just didn't care, man. He just did not care. But the Union armies needed more guys like him, especially early on in the war. They might have been able to bring the thing to a close a little bit more quickly, I think. It would seem that our AI general thought bringing these guns up here would end up giving us the advantage. So there you go. Maybe we've got a little RP we can drum into this and right into it with McClellan thinking that he's outnumbered, and so he's being super cautious about how he's going to approach the crossing of this river. I like that. I like that idea. I like that idea. It's a fantastic idea. Skirmishers out. Johnson. Come on back here, buddy. He's going around all over the place. Stewart's guns are going to go over here. Okay, that's fine. They're going to go right up against the riverbed. Works for me. We'll be fighting right there. And a little battle here that will have pretty big consequences. What are we at so far? Let's take a look at the strategic picture here. Consolidated strength report. You can see 250 casualties for them. 142 for us. Not many. A minor action to begin. The idea here being, if we can manage it, again, try to get them into their orange state so that we could rally and counterattack them in our, like, yellow state, and then drive them out of northern Tennessee and southern Kentucky maybe for a good long while so that we can get ready for when they come next. Nope, 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 nope. Halt, 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 halt. I don't want you going across the bridge like that, guys. Come to here and retreat, for starters. Harney engaged here at the edge of the river. This is kind of the hottest engagement we've got going right now. A little skirmisher action at the bluffs. We'll have the Little's brigade joining into the action here. The leftmost regiments of his brigade will begin firing on Kearney as well, I do believe. Does it say he's engaged? Yep. All right, we've got Kearney falling back now. Wanted to test this side. Cool little fight here across the river. There we go. Counter battery working real well right here. Let's go. Boom. And boom. These guns, boom. We'll have the rebel artillery that's just set right up on the river's edge right here, pounding away. And then you got Kearney's brigade that'll continue waylaying from this side, doing the best they can to cause trouble. Let's have these skirmishers try to reset. Can we get them down on the bluffs right here? Right there. Boom, boom. Now, why they're not... Okay, so they've got some of their guns pounding away from there. Okay. And they're firing at Pickett, who's taking artillery fire right there. He is no longer in a defensive terrain, which I don't love. And I'm surprised they're not trying to push a new brigade across the bridge. So we're pretty taken with this situation. We need to stay mindful of what might be going on the left here. So let's come around to here. Kearney's in a little bit rough shape right there. So that's one brigade kind of down, if you will. We'll start on the recording. I talked about, yeah, no Discord, no Discord channel or Discord server for me. I I like for now anyway to just keep all of it going here on YouTube for everybody to join in and chit chat while we're playing here. I think that is the way I'd like to continue forward for now anyway. And then the other piece about Discord is that I don't believe that I would be able to commit the kind of time that I would need to commit in order to do it. I just don't think I've got the time. I fill up all, I mean, this is like a cool little piece of my life that has always been a hobby, right? And now I'm able to actually make a little money on it, and that's really cool. But it's not so much that I can justify spending a whole bunch more time on supporting it, is the way I might put that. There's plenty of time I spend trying to do the live streams themselves and edit together content. And then adding the responsibility of running and managing and doing all the tech work for an actual Discord channel. I just don't think I have it in me. Here we go. They got some successful counter battery on us now. Let's get these gunners back on their guns. I guess they're not going to do that. Damn it. Okay, we need some infantrymen to come take those guns up. That's going to have to be from Buckner Sr. Boom. Okay, we did drive off some of their artillerymen, and that will work just fine. We've got more counter battery to do. Bingo. Right, yeah, there's an idea there taking shape where maybe the cavalry actually crosses, and here at Little Creek, we make, we do something to them out here. It's just that it's all open ground. I feel like the cavalry would just come out here and end up getting itself killed. A lot of time, you can't, when cavalry comes out on the flank all by itself out there like that in this game, it's kind of a dodgy prospect, really. All right, these skirmishers, we'll just bring them back. These boys. Let's bring back their skirmishers. We don't need them to have skirmishers out. We want to try to go grab these artillery cannons. Damn it. These boys maybe could do it. All right, fine. So how about we have these guys come back to here? Damn. So we lost some of our gun crews right there. We are killing some of their troops here. That's fine. All right. Fornicator, by the way. Hey, new father, by the way, there. General Fornicator. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you becoming a member. End of day. There it is. It gives me a little time to talk about what you have earned yourself. We got a little gifted membership that came earlier on in stream, and I talk about this as briefly as I can. The key to being a veteran member, paying $5 per month. It doesn't mean you got to stay and be a member forever. If you are, I appreciate that very much. You will rank up in the members list and have a rank. And so I've got, I look over that on a regular basis. And so I know who's who, right? And so your higher rank matters as it relates here in the stream. I do try to talk with newer folks to the stream too. Want to try to keep bringing new people in. But the thing that's really the value add for you becoming a veteran member is access to what I call my Battle Epic Video Vault. That is what is worth it. And if you pay for 1 month of membership for $5 and just binge all of the content I have in those Battle Epic members only videos, I think that alone will probably make it worth it for you, having become a member for $5. The other thing you get are, of course, the badges and the emotes in chat. You turn a different color in chat so I can see you a little bit better. You get your name at a veteran level posted in videos that come in the future, and I'll have them scrolling in my member breaks that are saying thank you for your memberships, of course. So you'll have your name posted there as a supporter of the channel in that way. And then, of course, you get all the respect from me as a man who earns and comes here and pays for the pleasure. So thank you guys so much. And thank you, General Fornicator, for joining the Groggy Nut community here, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. IDK, let them know. Let them know. So that's the end of the day, right? I wonder how they'll redeploy, if at all. I wonder if we should retreat. Yeah. They lost 550. They lost half of their cannon, or they lost a third. We've lost quite a few of ours. Inspect the situation of your troops. Click continue to start redeployment. Right. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Should I get out of here? Should I get out of this mess right here? Should I stand at this line and try to fight this out? I feel like I'm just going to lose more artillery. We got a whole day yet to come. I'll throw it to you guys first. I'll tell you what. I want you to think about that. I want you to hit me in chat with what you think I should do. Do we retreat and get out of here? Do we finish this out? I know it'd probably be more fun to go ahead and continue fighting, but we've got more to do on the campaign side of things. So if you wouldn't mind helping me out with your thoughts on what you think I ought to do here, it's kind of like an impromptu poll in the chat. Do we stay and fight, or do we go and retreat? I'll let you decide about that. Weigh in, please, in the chat. I'd appreciate that. I'm going to jump up. I'm going to grab myself a little NA beer in the mason jar, hit the baño, and join you back discussing it in the chat. None of you guys are. It's like that's the one thing that was weighing on my mind like while I was away is I've lost so many of my guns. Now, they have too. That's true. I probably would want to pull mine back and focus on maybe putting them here. And then, yeah, if we were going to fight this thing for real, go ahead, back up a bit and try to create a kill zone, letting them cross. I think I might want to do this. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Okay, our cannon are going to revert back to their old position here and here. Okay. And now Pickett is going to pull back to here with his skirmishers out. Oh, okay. I guess not. Little. Bingo. Bam. Okay. And we'll let them cross like you're talking about. I like this idea. I hope we don't regret it. How do we feel about this, gentlemen? Let's have the Cav. All right. Tell you what, let's have Little and Pickett. I'd say we could probably go ahead. No, I like having so this setup where we're going to have plenty of infantry to hold them up coming across the bridge. If they want to do it, they can do it. These boys there, the pump away at them. Holmes Brigade, we don't need him here. We really don't. We can kind of bring him back to here. Little's brigade can kind of come to here. Smith. Are you saying put Smith there? Talk to me, man. Oh, use them to hit him in the... Oh, okay. You mean go like here and then come across and harass with the cav as they try to cross the bridge. Okay, I like this plan coming together right here. Who is this? Who is this? Yes, sir. Who is this? Nosferatu is on this. Okay, very well. You're not a Raiders fan, are you, by the way? Of course, we're going to see where they decide to deploy right here. So they may redeploy. We're going to go ahead. I think we're doing this. Push the play button. Oh, my God. Whoa. What? Should have left. Okay, Pickett's got to come forward. Shit. Ugh. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Overnight, McClellan was able to steal a march, set his troops up across on our side of the bridge. Oh my God. Okay, Smith, we need to bring him over here now. Go. Double quick. And McClellan's going to order an assault with his entire army as Pickett comes forward. Ready? Fire. Fire. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, what do we got here? What have we got here, gentlemen? Oh my word. And McClellan, they steal a victory here. Woo, man, should we charge these fuckers? Here they come. You got artillery set up right there. You got to be kidding. All right. Can't put any skirmishers out. All right, fine. We got them jammed against the river here. Open up. It's our only... Okay, these guys are falling back. All right. Lost resilience looks good, but not with Buckner Sr. Not so good. Oh, my God. Little... attack. We just got to bring it, everybody. Buckner Sr. is going to be falling back, my guess is. Okay, Johnson, get over here. Or no. Get right here. Oh, shit. Still doing all right. Pickett is still stable. We did break or send one back. I think we begin falling back on the guns. The guns need to fall back themselves. We need to get out of here. We need to start getting the heck out of here. Are we not? They're not going to move, are they? Get out of here. No, 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 no. Okay, Buckner Sr. and Holmes both broken. It's time to get the hell out of here, boys. We're retreating. Holy smokes. Get out of here. Double quick. Double quick. What? All right. So we got to give old McClellan a little credit. That clever bastard. Holy smokes, man. Okay, go. We got to pull back. We got to pull back. Pickett and Little have to save the day. But we got to get out of here. These guns need to get out of here. Come on. Go. Oh, they're not going to do it, guys. They're not going to do it. Okay. Take off your AI for me, boys. You're going. Good. Pickett and Little are going to be the rear guard here. We got to sound the retreat. Oh, I cannot believe they were able to redeploy like that. That is wild, man. That is just wild. Whew. That one hurts. Let's go ahead. Let's chase down these guys for some extra prisoners. Man, let's try to get everybody else off the field. Gosh dang it. This means Nashville is in play for them. And that pretty much makes worthless our whole fort building effort down around there. Okay. I would charge if I was being crazy, because we're breaking with Pickett right here. Little. Okay, our guns decided not to move off. Whoa, this is turning into a disaster quickly, gentlemen. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, look at here. We're gonna charge them. Right into them, boys. These Rebs. Oh, nice. And let's hit these guns right here. Fine. Little's brigade is going to come in here and try to save the day. I guess these guns are going to stay and help out. Can Little's brigade tie up the rest of the Union Army while we try and capture some men over here? Capture some prisoners, damn it. You'll have Little's brigade broken. There it goes. Okay, Johnson needs to get the hell out. Go. Get your guns out. Come on, boys. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is so not good. This is so very bad. This is so bad. Not good at all. McClellan. That bastard. We're going to have to get some payback on that one. Ugh. Sheesh. Yeah, there go our guns. There go our guns. We're going to have to fall back south of Nashville now, I believe. How many casualties are we going to have after this? 2,300 to their 2,000. All right, well, still going to have the army intact. There's the good news. Oh, my God. Okay, Johnson got out of there, thank God. Fine. Smith will go and take on Beatty. Zollicoffer is going to come in here and maybe get himself killed. Killed or captured. Sheesh. Golly. They're able to just redeploy. Bink right across the bridge right there. Was not anticipating them having the ability to do that. Not at all. Not even a little bit. All right, this is going to be bad in the campaign. This is going to be not good. Our army in the West is very weak. We will be in the red. We will be routed. We will be pushed back south of Nashville. We will be giving up all of the manufactories around Nashville. Our forts won't make much sense, but they'll still be guarding Nashville from that side and Tennessee from that side, so I guess we'll still have that. We're going to have to take months to reorganize and reinforce this army. They'll have time to reinforce theirs, and we'll have another battle probably somewhere around here for us to retake Nashville, hopefully. I think that's about how bad this is going to be, boys. Yeah, golly. Johnson with a disaster. We're going to have to, are we going to have to sack Albert Sidney Johnson right here? That is entirely likely at this point. Entirely likely. Let's go 5 times. Let's go 20 times. Let's just get the heck out of here, boys. Holmes, come on. Everybody get out. All of our units withdraw on battlefield. The battle is counted as lost. Troops are retreating orderly. What? I don't know about that. All right. Well, I mean, we gave almost as good as we got in that one, even despite everything. Right? Did lose all of our guns. That's the bad part. Yeah, a little. So let's go quit. And back on the campaign map, this is something I wanted to get to anyway. Accolades for the battle in Missouri and for this one. So we're going to need to get back into the Army administration screen and take care of some of this business here. Guys, what a battle that was. That was looking good for a second, but then, things change on you for day 2. Go figure. Appreciate everybody watching that one. Don't forget, click that thumbs up button if you like what you see tonight. If you're new to the channel and the stream, subscribe. And check out the description, would you? I build some lore around each one of these streams, every one of my vids when it comes to Grand Tactician. There's also links to become a member and become a subscriber for the channel. General Zolikoff losing face. Yeah, well, that's no big surprise. General Johnson should as well. Disaster at Nashville is an understatement. 320 killed. That's not that many, but it's the 1,116 missing that we are really going to have to face with here. So, okay, we'll be on the retreat there. You see the Yankees are coming for us again up here in Missouri. Okay, we got to push play right here. I think they're coming for us. Maybe they aren't. All right, I think this unit or this army here is going to melt away a little bit. We are getting provisions from Jeff City and forage. So we've got at least a little something there. We won't build a depot up here. But we needed to give credit where credit was due. Pierce here, Colonel Pierce's troops, they did pretty good. They did pretty good in that last battle in Missouri. McCulloch, he was the guy, so we need to promote him. And I think we need to form a new division under McCulloch in McCulloch's Army of Arkansas. So let's go replace McCulloch with a professional infantry commander of suitable rank. That would be Captain Franklin Gardner, who will promote to a major, an infantry commander, who will then be assigned to McCulloch's brigade. That will be Gardner's now as a colonel, breveted. We'll add a new division under McCulloch. We will put Gardner under McCulloch. We will put Clayton Sr. there as well. And we'll put McIntosh and Pierce there as well. And McCulloch will have 4,000-man division, 2,000-man division under Price with the Missouri State Guard. We'll have artillery attached to the Army HQ. And this army will stay probably very close together. Maybe we give McCulloch 1 battery at least here. Butler's guns of 6-pounders. I think that looks good. Army of Arkansas, looking pretty good right there. I like that. Do we have anybody with perks right here? It doesn't look like it. Not yet. We did lose. All right. Now, the one thing we can be hopeful for is that they are in the orange now and that they have to stop. We're going to retreat to here. Okay, well, that's not too far. We'll pull back to behind Fort Donelson. Right? And I would say we have to sack Johnson, I think. Okay, we get a perk for the Army. Possible break heavy logistical chain simplicity. Yeah, let's do, I think I want to do flying column. Ambulance Corps would be good. Sappers and miners, no. Land torpedoes, no. Partisan brigades, no. Bushwhackers, no. Embedded reporters, no. Limelights, no, 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 no. Bureau of Military, no, no. Balloon Corps. Field Telegraph Siege Train, no. Flying Column for my perk right here. And you see, they're camped. I think they have to stop. It's daytime and they're not moving. So that may be a bit of a blessing in disguise. They've crossed over into Southern territory. They're in the orange, I'm guessing, and have to stop. So that's the one thing that we've got kind of going for us after that defeat. Yeah, well, damn Yankees. Damn Yankees. I think we're going to be in contact again out here. I'm really okay with them staying busy here. Okay, we're now retreating again. And they're going to send us all the way back down to Springfield this time. Okay, good, good, good. That's fine. And then we'll hang tight there. If we get attacked again, we'll retreat again back to our depot. We emptied this out. Let's abandon it. We don't need it anymore. Fine. Fantastic. Okay, guys, this is big. Confederacy's printing new notes. New greenbacks flood the markets. Inflation expected to soar. Well, I don't know about that. Confederate States government printing new banknotes to increase funding during this crisis. New money is flooding the markets and the government treasury. The act reducing the need to rely on foreign investors with their increasing interest rates. Indeed, indeed. So right away, we go Militia Act 2. Bam. 25, 26 days, so it'll take about another month to get it passed. And then we'll be reinforcing our armies immediately from there. Army of Tennessee wrapping up its retreat. Once they're done, we will continue. By the way, we had something going on over here. Okay, there were two fleets that were headed south. I remember that. All right, that brings me to what I wanted to try to get into, and that was partially, I want to figure out, there's a way that you do the patrol, right? I want to take Barron's North Carolina Squadron right here, and I want to do a patrol. And I can go here, 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 holding control the entire time. And I think he'll just go back and forth between these 2 points. I think that's how you do patrolling in this game. I never quite fully understood it. All right, we're camped now. Let's get on the move. Boom. We got to force this march and go. So they won't take Nashville just yet. They'll be forced to recover right here. We're going to get our reinforcements, by the way. So there is that. Once we finish this, the 2nd CSA engineers will rejoin right here. I think we're in a position right now where we have no choice. And we're going to need to move Bragg's command north. Taking the rails. We're going to go to Grenada first. Donk. Taking the rails. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and join. We're going to have to bring him up here. We're going to have to forget what it was that he was up to down here. I need to get this army of Tennessee reinforced, rebuilt, so that we can fend off McClellan here sooner rather than later. I really want to drive him back out and into Kentucky and protect Nashville, hopefully for the remainder of the year. Okay, good thing out here is that we forced them into a position where they're having a little supply trouble themselves. They've got 24,000 men to feed. Okay, we're going to have some more disabled men as we make this retreat. That's fine. All right. It's time for the Army of the West to be brought up. This was another piece. It's going to be important for us. We're going to bring them all the way north to near these iron mines, or those are coal mines. The coal mines right there. No. Go this way. Right here. Don't force it. Go. And the idea is they're in the yellow now. We're going to keep going. We're going to get them a little further. When we get up here, probably going to get them a little further in the yellow, maybe even into the green. And we're going to bring them up here, and we're going to start raiding like crazy. Now, they're going to have the Army of Southwest Missouri right here to deal with us. We'll see if they can do it, though. Okay, we're getting closer. We're not there yet. Okay, we're getting closer to our legacy rifles. All right, this is what I want. Legacy rifles subsidy funding. Okay, we're at 1.2. We need 3. So we're going to, in another couple of weeks, maybe one more week. Triple B minus, yep. The foreign recruiting, somebody was asking about that. We've taken in Cubans and Nicaraguans mainly to our Western Army here. But what I was in the middle of, before we jumped into that battle, before the game so rudely interrupted us, here goes the home squadron. Yeah, and got these guys that are all headed south. Not sure where they're headed and what they're doing. I don't see anybody popping up out here. All right, we were going to get some cavalry. Did we do that here? Let's see. That is Fort Tuttle. Yes, we did. We got Barksdale into Fort Tuttle. All right, so that's good. I'd say next is Fort Norfolk, or Fort... What fort is this? Fort Norfolk. Good. Let's do a little more in there. And we'll do cavalry again. We'll make them from... Oh, by the way, for those who are curious, okay, we got... So let's do some... Look at these, all these Cubans and Nicaraguans. The Nicaraguans are coming in droves. Holy moly. Let's go from Virginia, another cavalry unit of 250 men. Boom, pow. You hear Hazel snoring in the background. She is so bored right now. Sorry, Hazel. And we'll recruit them as a garrison for Fort Norfolk. Here, Anderson, George Anderson, a volunteer. Yep, I'm fine with that. So they'll have some troops, and I'm using these small cavalry contingents to garrison our fortresses. So here's to hoping that's a good idea. Got Jeb Stewart keeping an eye on things up here. Let's go ahead. Let's get him into the yellow, and then we'll start using his cavalry to scout. Okay, now I had talked about getting to a discussion related to iron. All right, so one thing to know as we pause the game during an overnight period, Knoxville and the surrounds are extremely important. This iron mine is our only one. The only one in the entire Confederacy that is producing any specific amount of iron whatsoever is this one. We have choices. We could upgrade it, but we need more industry subsidies. Okay? We're going to want to upgrade this. The other thing is we're going to want to try to protect it best we can too. Really the only way to get at it, the best way anyway, is to come down here. Getting through the Cumberland Gap and then across this bridge, or coming across anywhere else near here, Knoxville, and getting to it over here, I think is probably going to be a little bit difficult to do. But that's going to be an important location for us, right? That's where our iron is. Now, we do have an option. I'm pretty sure. We have iron also in Maryland here. and more here in Pennsylvania. So, invasion plans may come together sooner than you think. Because it would be nice to just hold on to those whenever possible. If we've got the opportunity to just come up here and put armies up this way and start collecting resources from these iron mines, that would be nice. That would be very nice. The Army of the Shenandoah being in yellow makes me think. It's just, I like this position right here. And, you know, having battles being fought here, maybe they continue to just try to come down and bash their head against Fredericksburg. I guess I'm fine with that. AI trickery. Yes, Cav to cover the gaps. That's not a bad idea at all. That's not a bad idea at all. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's do this. Push and play. Okay, we're going to add a new army in Tennessee. It's going to be under a cavalry commander. Captain Robert Ransom Jr. Yes. How about some of these lieutenants? Bowen. Yes, Beverly H. Robertson. Let's make it under him. Assign. And we'll add cavalry from Tennessee. Boom. Let's go 2 units of... Oh, let's go 2 units of 375. We'll do that and this. Okay. Not Kemper. Although, as a political commander, yeah, no, we don't want him as a cavalry commander. We don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't think so. Benjamin Helm, Chambliss. Let's go with Chambliss right here. Okay, and then we'll do another one from Tennessee. And this will be a 500-man cavalry unit. And we'll go light trousers like that. It'll be good. And that will be under cavalry commander, please. And we're making these lieutenants into big Ferguson into big unit command. Here we go. Dabney Maury as a 2-star lieutenant. We'll promote him to captain. And he'll get command of 500 men over here with Robertson and the... what do we call this? Knoxville Defense. All right. We'll do that for now. Knoxville Defense under Beverly H. Robertson, who's a decent cavalry general. He'll have about 1,000 men, a little over 800 ready to go. And it will be here for starters, but we'll move him up to the Knoxville area in the Cumberland Gap. At one point or another, eventually, we may go ahead and add a fort up there. Let me go back to my list. Talked about iron supply, okay? Got that done. We need to get those legacy rifles done. Okay, we did our policies. Then, here's the thing. Here is the conversation starter, right? This is an interesting one. I think I'd go ahead and defer... Oh, that's not a bad idea. Ooh. Okay, having a market here is that's actually a good idea. Let's do this. Boom. Right there. It's only 1.2 million, right? That's not too bad at all. I like that idea. The Beeper Man. Welcome. Welcome. A man who earns and pays for the pleasure. A member here at Alternate History Gaming. Thanks, guys, for jumping in tonight. Union calls for volunteers, 2-year contracts. Okay, so they have done not Militia 3 now. But Militia 2, States forming new regiment. Okay, so they're going to reinforce their armies. They have done Militia Act 2. We are 24 days behind them. Okay. That is not great. That is not great. They're going to build themselves a depot here so that they can stay in the area. Right. Now we got Johnson on the move. He's going to need to bring his army back to Nashville. Go, go, go. He won't have to force the march there. All right. Knoxville Defense Cavalry. Fantastic. Got a retreat continuing here. That's just fine with me. Oh, conversation starter was, right? Policy. What is it? Okay, we got Militia Act 2. We do that next. What I would like to do is jump straight at Military 2 and get more subsidies so that we can start cranking out our military projects, right? Working on getting the legacy rifles done, work on getting our rebuilt ironclads done, ironclad gunboats, same. I think we need to push for organization reform soon enough. I think we need to get there. That's the other thing Military 2 will help us with. I think we need to go for weapon production, but I think that that's industry subsidies. Okay. So we need to take a look. Industry subsidies at 1.7 million. We need to bring that up to 2 right now. All right, 2. And our economy subsidies look pretty good. Agriculture's low. Let's bring our economy subsidies down a bit. We don't need quite so much. I see 251 million under the expenses tab. That's not great. Let's bring our sales tax up just a tad. We need to add as much as we can. It looks like buildings, yeah, all of those forts are costing us right now. Big time. Big time. You can see the Yanks are not spending near as much on buildings right now. Okay. They're spending way more on their army. And way more on their navy right now. Recruitment, about the same for both. Right now. Yeah. All right, so we don't have a battle here. We have a blockade here with the home squadron. They're going to blockade West Point and Ononcoke and Rockets Landing right there. So we'll have a blockade in place. It's going to make things a little harder right here in Richmond and in Virginia. Here's the Army of the Northwest looking pretty strong. 2,500 infantrymen. So this is the force that might be able to cause a fuss. He's all the way green. Okay, what if we come down the road here, right? At Cumberland, Maryland. Let's go ahead. Let's come to here. Let's take the railroad. Screw it. Let's get there fast. The Army of the Northwest under Porterfield, Major General George Porterfield, put themselves together a campaign up here. We've got the Army of Pennsylvania, very likely, that's going to oppose them. 21,000 men there. All right, we got Jeb in the yellow. Let's scout. See what he picks up. Department of Richmond. Scout. Getting done with that. Construction. Fort Liddell. Excellent. That would be over here. So now, okay, we take Whiting's troops, the 2nd CSA engineers, bring them back to the railroad. Bingo. Okay, they're all the way in the green, too. They'll help our Army's readiness by adding them. And we got Army of Tennessee. Perfect. We'll have to march them back to Nashville here. Dunk. Take them a little while to get there. Okay. Gonna have the Army of Arkansas at the mercy of... Okay, so they're forced to stop and build a depot up here to help deal with their supply issues. We're rationing. We're low on ammo. Weather's bad. Probably too hot for us. But we are getting provisions and things in from places, just not much. Checking in from Rolla, Missouri. Cheers, man. And Beeper, man, do appreciate you watching, man. Appreciate all you guys that are tuning in. All the groggy nuts together over Grand Tactician. Really, really great game. Love this game, man. Let's take this to Cumberland right here. Let's go ahead. Okay, Army of the Shenandoah now in the green. Would have close to 10,000 men when you add Jeb Stuart's cavalry. Having them come in and guard the Shenandoah Valley, not the worst idea in the world at this stage. That's for sure. Oh, here's the other thing. We need to, let's bring... For now, diplomacy subsidies back, and let's bring our politics subsidies up. Oh, okay. 4 million, yeah. Let's stick with that. I think that helps us research policies faster. I think a little bit. So 21.6. Okay, cool. I don't know if that actually helped much, but we'll see. Bad weather coming. We just don't have the kind of strength that we would like all across the board. We could take Magruder and add him to the army right here. I just don't think I want to do that just yet. What I would do is I would take Magruder and I would add him, I'd transfer him into the Army of Virginia if I took the Army of Shenandoah and moved it back up here to coordinate with the Army of the Northwest. So what I think I want to do here, the Army of the Shenandoah, let's act on this, okay? Let's get them back to around Newmarket. All right, we'll start by moving here by rail. All right. Then we'll have this force under Magruder just basically fold into the Army of Virginia. Right here. Okay, Magruder. Okay, we can't bring him in. All right, fine. We'll have a new division under Magruder is what we'll end up with. Let's go ahead and have this and this and this and this. Do that. Magruder will be done. And the Department of Richmond will be incorporated into the Army of Virginia, which will be boosted to yellow now. Very good. So let's have Beauregard add a division under Magruder. There you have it. We'll have... See, this is the problem. This is a problem with the game. It's you can't get this to go up to help you. So we're going to have to go with Lee, Trappier, Tribute, and Elzey. So we'll go these two back. Okay. And have Bryan's infantry brigade, Hood's cavalry, and Preston's artillery Randolph's artillery. Trabou's artillery. Elzey's artillery. And that's what we'll have left. And Early will be back in here. All right, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3 infantry brigades directly attached to Beauregard as kind of a reserve with Field's cavalry. That'll be good. Beauregard will end up with close to 30,000 troops and 43 guns in the Army of Virginia right there. And yeah, those who noticed, yeah, we're in triple B minus now. Fantastic. That is just delicious. Here's the Army Northwest with Porterfield. He does look like that guy. Oh, my God. The guy who wouldn't get them any shoes in the movie. Boy, you talk about one of my favorites, man. Holy smokes. Don't get me started on that one. Okay, we got some bad weather, and we've got Winchester under siege. It's the Army of Pennsylvania. Okay, Johnson's army will now be moving into the valley here. I see them on the move. If we could tie them up moving toward us over this way, I would not be against that. We could just have this be a nice little diversion, distraction, move back up here, and then back down to Grafton. What do they got? Army Northwest, Cavalry Scouting. Jeb. Let's move him here. All right, Army of the Shenandoah is here. Army of Virginia. So these two armies are still either in the orange or the red. I might be willing, once we've gotten our reinforcements, to launch a campaign in Virginia where we hit the Army of Pennsylvania next with our two main armies. Because I don't think these two can move. Oh, gosh, were we in the middle of... So now Johnson has gotten his troops back. Okay, the Army of Tennessee, Albert Johnson. Okay. All right, now, Zollicoffer has got to be sacked. I don't think DeRosey or Buckner Sr. are deserving of command. Ruggles certainly isn't. So we've got to replace Zollicoffer with somebody. I think we're going to have to put in Gideon Pillow, or let's do Blanchard with two. Oh, my God, he's not very good, but let's assign him. And then Johnson's got to be replaced. He's extremely famous, but he's from California, which is kind of helpful, I think. Now you're learning, boyo. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, the drill sergeant. That was probably the best casting job. Yeah, for Glory. That was fantastic. Little Pickett. So, okay, Little as a colonel, I would promote him. And he did well in defending the Army, but I think we've got to just replace Albert Sidney Johnson with Gideon Pillow. Is what we've got to do. Bingo. Okay, that's what we got to do. Gideon Pillow, now head of the Army of Tennessee. Right? Okay, Albert Sidney Johnson's going to take a back seat for a bit. We may bring him back. Maybe. All right. Problem is, we go from yellow to red after making that change. Okay, the guys are not happy. They are not happy with that. Even though he led them into disaster, the men are not happy with this decision. Okay, we're going to stay on defensive. We're going to let the army recover right there. We're going to get our defense force from here over to Knoxville as soon as we possibly can. You can see them busy building a depot. That'll give us some time. All right. The other piece was we really don't need to do this. We can just take the Gulf States militia, I forgot, and we can literally just transfer it up to the Army of Tennessee. Boom, pow. All right, let's go. And then we'll have a brigade under Bragg. Or a division under Bragg, rather. Boom, boom, boom. Transfer them. Oh, Bragg's Gulf States militia goes away. And then we have the Army of Tennessee swelling. Now back in the orange, thankfully, with those. Okay, and they'll be closer to the yellow. Fantastic. Okay, and we're going to add a division under Bragg. And we'll have all of his troops back with him from the Gulf States militia. Or at least whichever ones I can remember being with him. Harney is with him. Fantastic. Pickett and Little stay with Pillow. Yeah, we'll have kind of a reserve division directly under him. We'll have Bragg. We'll have Blanchard. And a total of 10,000 troops for now, though that will swell to, okay, so 10,200 troops when it's all said and done. Okay, okie dokie. And I would like to make a counterattack here and fight against McClellan again over there in Kentucky. Very interesting situation we have in the east. The Army of Pennsylvania. I wonder if they'll want to push all the way south here. Yeah, well, Johnson's just going to be on a timeout. Johnson's just going to be on a timeout for now. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, the Army of the Northwest. Let's go ahead and let's pull them back to Grafton again. We just kind of flash over here. That'll be fine. We see them now. We know what they're up to. If I'm in the yellow here, they must be in the orange here, most likely. I would say we maybe do this thing. Let's go ahead and let's get into the valley with the Army of Virginia. Let's do this. We'll keep our depot right here for now, but we're going to empty it out. And then we're going to build a new one here. Right there. All hopes are they don't move on Richmond. But we're going to take the Army of Virginia with the Army of Shenandoah, and we're going to smack into the Army of Pennsylvania for our next campaign in Northern Virginia. That's the plan. Yep. Okay, here we go. We're going to pull south to Carrollton, Arkansas. That's fine. Benjamin McCulloch on his own little trail of tears here across Missouri. Sheesh. Got muddy roads to deal with, too. That's just tough. I really want to get those legacy rifles. I feel like that's going to be a major game changer for us. And then the 2nd CSA engineers, let's bring them back. Same thing. We don't need to mess with all of the everything. We need to just go ahead and get them into the Army of Tennessee. Boom. Smith's brigade, right? Of engineers. Let's go ahead and put them with Pillow. Like that. Do it. Okay, Whiting's command goes away. The CSA, the second CSA engineers are no more. Instead, we'll have that much larger. So about 12,000 troops, 12 guns, it looks like, for the Army of Tennessee as we prepare to defend Nashville right there. By God. You know, I don't disagree about that hospital. It's just we're getting to the point that, so we would have it be probably here in Murfreesboro. Okay, 3.1 million. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, it's worth the expense, I think. We'll have it be right there. Good call. Good call from a member right there. Always looking out. Always looking out, gentlemen. And there's another one. Yeah, Albert Sidney Johnson, a guy that, like, what if he had made it? What if he had survived? Fascinating deal with him, for sure. Okay, we made it here. We're in the yellow. We got bad weather. Let's go ahead and do a little more of our garrisoning. Yes, let's do this. Which fort is that? Fort Liddell. I like it. Fort Liddell. Come back around. Bingo. With some Mississippi infantry or cavalry. 500. 375. Let's do that. Boom. White pants. Ooh, I kind of like that. They don't need to be white. So white there like that. Cavalry. Perfect. Drayton. He's an infantry commander, so we won't do that. We're going to do politicals. Johnson Haygood. Let's assign him. Oops. Oh, shoot. No, I didn't want to do that. Oops, 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 oops. Fort Clanton, Fort Liddell. We wanted Haygood. Kemper, no. So, political. Humphreys. I mean, they don't. So, Chalmers, Featherston. Yeah, Humphreys. Let's do that. Okay, fine. All right, now the fort here, Kimball. I think we've already got Fort Kimball. I think we've already got a decent garrison there. Right here. Yes, we've got 1,500 men there. And so you see what the fort is. I like to look at that just so you understand why you build these things. So we've got 10 64-pound rifles and 10 32-pound cannon, right? They have to have a naval force and or a really large land force in order to take a fort. And it'll take some time. It's kind of like a speed bump for them. And when you've got a level 2 fort, that makes it even tougher on them. All right. And we were still a little bit mystified as to why the Indian commanders like Stan Wadey aren't available. I'm probably going to wait till we build this depot to launch this campaign in the Shenandoah right here. We'll get these two armies together, have that depot built and filled, and then we'll plan a march in July, and maybe have ourselves a battle the first or second week of July up here in Winchester. Yeah, they're slowly building back their strength here, but slow going. Jeb Stuart's cavalry. Let's go ahead and bring them to Fredericksburg. Let's have the cav out. Let's have guarding. All right. Let's bring the Army of Virginia to here. Take the railroad. Yep. That's fine. Could get the Army of the Northwest in on the action up here too, really. Do kind of a back and forth and a back and a forth. Boom. Yeah, we're using railroad points here. Using up all of our rail capacity, pushing these guys forward. You can see here, 135 to 81. So I think that affects their readiness negatively, maybe, if we overdo it. I'm not sure about that. All right, they've got their depot now. I think Pillow, very soon, is going to want to march across and take them on. We need to get those reinforcements up. Destination Porterfield. Whiting Anderson at destination. Baltimore Squadron. Oh, the Baltimore Squadron disintegrates. Fantastic. We managed to kill some ships. Not sure how. Battle of Hampton Roads. Battle of Hampton Roads has ended with James River Squadron retreating. Desperate with us being thoroughly outgunned, outmaneuvered, and superior condition of the enemy fleet. Believing in intact condition of my fleet, barely afloat. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Okay, so we lost a ship. Okay, let's bring the James River Squadron back here. Fine. Bingo! We got another new member tonight, gentlemen. Wilson Raiders 1984 joins in as a veteran. Congratulations to you, sir. You will now benefit from your veteran membership. You'll get early access to videos. That's one that I hadn't shared before. You get to see videos when they drop and VODs when they drop before everybody else. You now have access to my Battle Epic video series for Scourge of War. That is full battle, multi-part video experiences with Antietam. Waterloo is both the French and the Allies. Ligny is kind of more of a highlight video, but it's a battle epic all the same. Dramatized 19th century black powder combat in full epic scale for you, my friend. I don't care if you just pay for 1 month and watch, and that's that. I love you for it. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to be ready here. Army of the Northwest. Let's come to here. Rain's going to slow us down. Don't love that. Try to empty this out, and then we'll abandon this depot. Need to get the Army of Arkansas back in the orange. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Army of the West. We're going to move out. Actually, we need to get them in the green. We need to get them in the green so that they can stay up here a while. They're going to be, we're going to raid. We promised ourselves that this is what we're going to do. We're going to raid. We've got 100 and 100. 43 cannon with this unit. We got this. Fantastic. We've got 26,000 troops. We got another 8,000 here. The depot is going to be ready pretty soon. Hate to wait too long, right? You don't want to wait too long. We'll be poised right there. I'll regret waiting if these guys move, but I think I want to finish that depot before we actually go. Okay, we've got the fort under attack right here. Perfect opportunity. Oh, that's the Army of Mississippi. 8,500 men, 10 guns that came down, I think, by river. Pillow. How soon until he gets his reinforcements in? 7 days. Shit. All right, it'll be another week. Okay. Army of the Mississippi might take here. We'll see. How we looking? Looking all right. We got Smith's brigade here with their artillery from the fort. They've only got 12 field guns. Okay, that's going to be a tough fight at Fort Watkins. Fort Donelson. They called it Fort Watkins, so obviously there's a little bit maybe of a bug thing going there. We're not going to let this distract us from this campaign here against McClellan, I'll tell you that. We need to reinforce the army before we go on the attack right there. I do think we'll be able to hold out for longer than a week here. We'll have to see. Yeah, I'm super pumped, man, to try to get these Western troops going, too. I feel the same way. How close are we getting now? Okay, Militia 2 is coming in. We're 50% of the way there. We got another 13 or so days left. All right, we got this fort built. And Lee's troops now are going to come to Richmond. Boop. Rails. All right, and then Lee. They do have a perk here, so let's go ahead with the unit. Oh, Lee. Okay, let's go. Lee gets pontoon train, land torpedoes, combat range, bushwhackers. We want engineers with him, right? Siege train, field telegraph, balloon corps, skilled cartographers, flying column, foot cavalry, engineers and mechanics, bingo. All right, that's what he's going to have with him here in the CSA Engineer Corps as they come north to the Richmond area. Once again, this level 2 fort outside Norfolk is going to be tough for the Yankees to deal with. Let's finish up this depot, boys. I'm going to try to get that Shenandoah force moving. All right, now, can we do legacy rifles? Not just yet. We're getting there. I think once we get here and we could do these, probably wrap the stream, be ready to make the attack in the Shenandoah to get into the next stream with that, straight into the action in Virginia. It'll be so much fun. We'll be able to get going out here in the West for the next stream too. Okay, I got to check my list and make sure we kind of got through everything I want to get through. Ooh, okay. A couple of things. All right. Here we got a nice rainy day. The Army of Virginia. I wanted to come back through here. And I needed to... McCulloch's division. He got his brigade, so it's Reynolds... Cooper. He took Cooper's brigade. He's got Walton. So let's call these guys the Hilltopper Brigade. And they're level 1. Oh, nice. Fantastic. Okay. How about, did anybody else get a star? This battery did. Fantastic. How about perks? Are we there yet with anybody? Here we go. McCown's battery, yes. Let's go. McCown's murderers. And they'll do close support. Okay, Longstreet just got here. He'll be in charge of some artillery. Wilcox now in charge of the boys of the Mississippi Rifles. Jones, D.R. Jones, they need a brigade name. He was like the Stonewall Brigade, basically. We'll call them the Virginia, the Mississippi Brigade under D.R. Jones. Okay, this was McCulloch's brigade. It's now Reynolds Tar Heel Brigade. I like that. We got all the rest over here. We're waiting on, okay, 17 days and then 3 days for Winder's artillery. Fantastic. The other part was, is it time to try and upgrade from 6-pounder field guns? Maybe, we only got 3 left of our 10-pounders. Darn. Yeah, okay. 6-pound field guns are actually still pretty good compared. Got 6 here, 4 here. We've got 5 10-pounders here. Okay, this Randolph battery, I need to be in the full Army Reserve here. Boom. 6-pounders, 6-pounders, okay. 4 and 6. So too many to replace with anything. So let's give Traboo some 12-pound howitzers. Rather 24-pound howitzers. I like how many of those we have. And let's give LZ some 24-pound howitzers. We'll have kind of a heavy division with Magruder right there. I like that. I like that. Yeah, Samuel Cooper. Not the best. A colonel at this point. So I want to do a little bit of flavor work there with my brigades. That is good. The Army of the Shenandoah is not really deserving of any of that sort of thing. Neither is the Army of Tennessee. Not right now. But after that very first battle at the Rappahannock River, just outside Fredericksburg, the Army of Virginia definitely is deserving of some accolades. Yeah, Army of Arkansas is in bad shape. Army of the West, Army of Tennessee. Okay, Army of Tennessee now up to 12,000, almost. 10,441, 12 guns. I don't like how few guns they have. Don't love that. How's this battle going for us now? We have a better chance of winning it. Yep. Confederacy will win this, probability 52%. Let's see how the Army of the Mississippi can fare against us here. Looks like a very pillow fight-esque type of battle for the start. I still don't see this army moving. McClellan, cautious as ever. Go figure. Boy, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the ability to start cranking out those legacy rifles. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to start small with those. We're going to start producing them out of all of our different foundries, I think it is. Yeah. Or Ironworks, one or the other. I think it's Ironworks. And we're going to punch out, I think, maybe 5,000 of them to start with. That'd be the Plains rifle and also the Mississippi rifle. We'll make orders for those. And then you're going to try to bring the standardization on that up, because those are some pretty darn good quality longer range rifles that we can fold into our armies and I think put to good use there. Okay, wrap this up, boys. Wrap this up. Let's look at my list, see what else we had to look at here for sure. Oh, yeah. This is something that's kind of exciting. I'd been wanting to look at this for a while. Okay, we talked about the iron supply chain, right? That's going to be a part of, I think, what challenges us throughout the entire campaign. But there's something I'm looking forward to at one point or another, and maybe sooner rather than later. Again, we've really got to watch our credit score and our spending. We probably need to reinforce our armies before anything else. And that is to add our steam sloop, right, the CSS Alabama, and or one or two of these second-rate steamers. And these will be kind of like merchant raiding ships. What we'll end up doing is we'll build them in some level 2 port somewhere, a few of them, and we'll bring them out here and we'll be raiding out at these trade nodes out here. All right, and that should make it so that we can tie up some federal naval assets trying to chase those ships down. And we'll probably send them out as single units. We won't actually have fleets with those. Tatinal Squadron. Let's go ahead and get them into a patrol. Let's go up and down the coast here. Just like that. I like the plains rifle too. Similar kind of a reason for me. What do we have here? Army of the Federal Army of the Shenandoah, really? Fascinating. They just formed that one. And they're using new recruits to fill that one up. They will be. And we'll be just about done with this depot. Come on, boys. Yes. Now we got it. Let's fill it up. Okay, now we are going to make this move. We'll be in offensive with everybody. Guarding the supply trains. All right. And then we're going to just come up the valley and we're going to schedule this for the 6th. Okay. The Army of the Shenandoah will do the same. On the 6th, we'll not use the railroad. These guys are not, I hope, using the railroad. July 6th, and don't use the railroad. Go. All right, fantastic. They should both get moving. Got to hope that that goes off like planned. And we'll have the campaign in the Shenandoah get well underway with 2 armies combining to take out the Army of Pennsylvania. We want to send them running next. PGT Beauregard and Joe Johnson will team up once again. Probably going to have to leave it for the next stream, though, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and pause the game. We are overnight indeed, so it is legal based on my home rules, of course. That will have to do it, though. For tonight, we leave you with a little bit of a cliffhanger. You know how it goes in the entertainment world, right? How much fun was that? By the way, I am Bank60s, your humble and gracious player host here at Alternate History Gaming. It's been so much fun to have you guys here with me tonight. Grand Tactician, this is the one, baby, for the channel. We've got so many people who are coming in to join in on this campaign with the CSA in particular. I love that you guys are so interested in this stuff. I'm passionate about it myself, as you know, and I could talk about it all night long, as you've seen for yourselves. We have one heck of a campaign going here, guys. What's it going to be next? Disaster in Tennessee? Disaster in Virginia? Huh? Raiding in the West? How do our procurements end up going? We're going to get those legacy rifles and start cranking them out, bringing them to the front line quickly to help our armies in the early going of this campaign. Boy, I don't know. We've got a lot ahead of us, that's for sure, guys. Thank you once again, and I appreciate you being here. Click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed tonight's stream. Hit the hype button especially. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Alternate History Gaming with me, Bank 60s. And, of course, I will see you on the next one. Later, guys.